Hi, ladies.
Hello.
How are you? Let me turn myself around. And you can see me.
Good. I was about to message to go. I think I'm in the wrong meeting because there's no one there.
We're
Just
here.
gonna Oh, good. Excellent.
Hey, how about you selling 4 cook processors to 3 people? What a legend.
Am I clever?
I think
And they all left to go home and think about it. One girl, though, she did say, I'm definitely buying it. I've just got to work out the money. And, yeah, it's a bit exciting. I nearly had to cancel because my mother got admitted to hospital. And I probably should have cancelled, but I couldn't do it. So I've got to put hot water in my coffee. Hang on.
Hi, Lise.
Hi, how you going?
Good. We can hear her.
Yeah, I'm going to turn her off in a sec.
No, it's gorgeous to hear her. Oh,
Yeah.
Where is she?
yeah, put her on. Let us see her.
No, she's on my boob.
Well, David's not on yet. Oh, and there she is.
Here she is.
We were waiting for you.
Hi, Joyce.
She's just playing with the computer.
Good morning. Hey, Jane.
Hi.
Sorry about that
Hi,
message
girls.
yesterday.
Hey, Pauline. Hey, Lisa.
Hi.
No, not Lisa. Oh, yeah, Lisa's there. Hey, Trace, Elle. How are you, girls?
About the KA offer, I meant to say that it's just the same at $15.99, not the $200. So we had a day off yesterday. It was lovely. Long weekend.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Can I just clarify with the Chef Club dollars? Is that all right to talk about that now, or are we covering that later?
I'm not quite sure. I'm just going to see where he is. Is
I'm just
David
going
on?
to top up my water.
David. Probably best ask him, Elle.
Okay.
And package, what do you think of the what's on for October for sales and recruiting? In focus, we're just trying to get some of the inactive reactive by holding one class at 500, and then they can get their hands on some of the new silicons. That's good.
So for customers, it's just the square roaster, or did I miss something else?
No,
I thought we've been having the square roaster for the
No.
hosts.
Oh, no, I'm not talking
165.
about hosts. I'm just talking about for customers. It's still going at $1.99.
Just a square roaster, I think. I've had my head in other stuff, so I'm not up to speed on that bit.
It's both. On the In Focus, it said both, didn't it? $1.99 and $1.65.
Yeah. But you were just asking if that's the only thing, weren't you, Pauline?
Yeah, that's right. I just wondered what else might be on.
Oh, and special,
Well, yeah.
the $20, what was it? Piece
The
of
new steamer.
Oh, for the pressure cooker.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty limited audience, though, I felt.
Yep, true.
And Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Hello.
Hey,
Did you have a nice weekend away?
Me?
Yes. Didn't you go away with the girls?
Yes, I'm still at my apartment.
Yeah, you look very sunny.
You do look very relaxed.
Where are you, Joe?
My husband and I purchased an apartment in Glenelg.
Oh, lovely.
I'll show you. I'll give you a tour.
She's been
Can
doing
you
it
see
up.
Yes.
Bedroom.
She's been designing and
Very nice.
This island bench wasn't there. That was all the furniture's all new.
Lovely.
And then we've got a balcony out the front where
Beautiful.
we've got
Glenelg.
water.
Yeah, it's
Oh, look at that. Great location.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah.
So we all know where to stay now.
Yeah. It's only one bedroom, unfortunately. So we could
Bring a
afford.
flag.
we can
Let's
share.
slumber party.
Yeah.
Bring a
Quality, not
sleeping bag.
quantity.
Oh, hang on, I've lost you. There is a sofa bed, so it can. We've had 5 people staying it this weekend, so
And one shower. That'd be interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we're all here, David.
Sure. Good. Hi, everyone. Hope you all had a good long weekend, but I know for many of you it wasn't a long weekend. But anyhow, I was here. Lots of footy and stuff. It's all around the country, but yeah. So anyway, so this is. So we just wanted to go through a few things with you. Clearly, it's this is a pretty big week for us as far as the rollout of new system and new products, things like that. So pretty exciting. And
I'm just sharing. Sorry, one sec, guys. So we can get from the beginning. There we go. New beginnings. There we go.
Yeah, so you can see we've updated quite a few of the products. Basically, for the majority of them, the look and feel is you know, the basic consumer's experience is going to be pretty much the same as previously. The health mat is a little bit different. The health mat's got a lot of little bumps rather than the bars, so that's and it's a bit bigger as well. The PC basket's obviously quite different. This is something we had the change forced onto us, but we'll be trying to figure out a different solution for quite some time because even though it's got little rubber feet on it, there are still some issues if they come loose or something and scratching on the non-stick, etc. So being all silicone is actually a better solution for your customers. The mitts are a little bit different. They are not neoprene, they're silicone and they're cloth lined, so they actually work really well and they're actually really, really pliable. When we've had silicone, some of you may remember the frog type silicone, the red ones we've had a long, long time ago, which were not particularly pliable, so I thought a bit dangerous, which is why we moved away from those. These are actually very, very pliable, and being the double layer of both the silicone and then the cloth, and they come quite a long way up. I know some of the issues similarly with the previous ones, not going back, were a bit short and people would burn their forearms, so this is good. The springform, as mentioned, is a classic springform size, so for those who want to use it primarily for traditional baking, it's a better outcome. It does not fit in this PC, so that's those that want to do that, that's the downside, but I've flagged that already. And the mixing bowls are there, so it's a set of 3 rather than 2. They are a bit smaller each. So the current one I think is 1.5 and 3, and this is 1.5, 2. But directionally the same sort of thing. So really, we're down to probably 1 to 2% of the products that are not. Yes, Pauline, their bowls are very flexible. Yeah, yes, they're silicone. The majority are in stock. There's a couple which we flagged that will be in during October, but the vast majority are sitting in the warehouse as we speak, and I'll be ready to ship. And obviously, when we've got the new catalogue, it will make your team's life a bit easier because there won't be cross-outs. There'll be the products that are there, and the products that aren't there are not there. So that makes life a bit easier for everyone, I think. But I think it's a renewal, and but the reality is, as we've said before, those that focused on on what we have had, which is primarily the specials or the cookware generally, and the specials on the cookware, I mean, the party averages are up substantially. So so this will take away some unpleasant noise, and we'll obviously start shipping any back orders and things like that. But but yeah, the core focus remains, which is the cookware, and that's selling like hotcakes.
David, is there a chance that we can get some of this stuff shipped out soon for the meeting, so we've got some stuff there to show people?
Sure. Yep, we'll do that. We need to figure out a way of getting it into people's hands. I mean, clearly, the best way in many ways is for people to get it for free. That works for
KA Open House Week.
Well, there's the KA Open House Week, and then this October. Just really trying to restart activity levels again. So when they do one class in October, they get 2 items for free. That's the best way for consultants, and obviously it's the best way for you and your teams to to really drive the activity through the teams, while making it only one class is a pretty low hurdle, but the aim is to get everyone that's been waiting for stability to jump back in and get started again prior to November. So for now, we're not pushing out how to get it other than that, because we want people to get it for free by being active, not to just buy it. But
Jane, are you asking so that they can see what it looks like up close and personal? Yeah.
Yeah, and can we, if that's the case, if we can get them, can they get shipped out quite soon? Because sometimes we get missed. So.
Oh, the poor. Okay. We'll chat about that. Angela's asked a question, David. Will the ones not in yet be able to be sold and back ordered now?
I'll come back to you on that. Probably not. We do find it's just cleaner. So if it's not available, it just back orders. And we're down to a couple of products. It's cleaner if it's just not available. But we'll. Sorry, I'll just make notes.
I'm making them. It's okay.
Okay.
So can I ask a question? Sure. I don't know if this is open time to ask questions, but the toolkits and things like that, are they history once you run out of the...
we are looking to source new ones. We're doing some testing of some now. It's swings and roundabouts, but we haven't yet ordered them, but we are finding the production cycles. So some of these we're dealing more directly with the factory a bit faster. So
okay, and the set of 3 spatulas, are they a possibility as well?
We'll look at adding those. Feedback we've had, we mixed. I mean, as a triple, as a set, if you like, it was clearly it's been very popular. I mean, clearly, it's a big seller. I'm not sure on your feedback. We're struggling to replicate the main one is the little skinny one. So
that's why I'm asking, because of that one.
I never use it, but I know some people do like getting into jars and things like that. So I think we've managed to find one of those. Someone
beautiful. Thank you.
So for the time being, no, but yeah, we're continuing to work through and where we can to source. We really, as you know, we had to scramble to fill things, but we're not going to just get any rubbish. It needs to meet our meet the others, obviously our standards. So
Elle asked a question. I'm not quite sure. Can we
redeem any of them on Chef's Club dollars?
Oh, okay.
Probably not for now. The reality is, to be perfectly honest, you're asking a question that virtually no one does, apart from maybe top-ups where they, got $300 and they spend $250 on sautepan and top it up with some bits and pieces. But we don't see many of these being redeemed generally for Chef's Club dollars. So, as ever, for the time being, once we do need to ship out some back orders, and we don't know if there's a backlog of people wanting to order some of these things. So for right now, we won't be opening it up to Chef's Club, but we just want to get some stability on what we've got, the stock levels. Last thing you guys want is for us to open up to Chef's Club dollars and suddenly we run out again. So Chef's Club dollars, particularly for these rats and mice type stuff, is always at the bottom of the list of things.
Okay. And I've just brought up the page here of discontinued products, so you know straight up where we're at. I'm just going to mute someone. Any questions on this page?
I have to say, it looks like a lot. The blunt reality is there's one or two exceptions, but basically there were quite a lot that were moving out anyway. They just don't sell. So they were just noise on the page. The egg poachers, the egg rings, both used to be really big sellers. We now sell 20 a month. There's some like the set of 3 spatulas we are looking to source. But the vast majority we just don't. They don't sell. So it's just, we would be looking to move them. We would have been looking to move them on anyway.
The thermal bag wasn't a big seller, David?
No.
Yeah, right.
When we like a lot of these things, when we first launched it, it was really, really big and sold a lot. But it's fallen right away. And no, it's not a big seller at all.
Yeah. But your aim still to get the 1 cups, David, the 6 1 cups?
We are aiming to get the 1 cups. I mean, that is one that is a big seller. We know that. Quite unique as well. So we're trying to find where we might be able to get hold of those. I mean, look, if we have to, we can just bite the bullet and do get the tooling done.
So the tartlets, you've still got plenty of stock, I take it.
I believe so.
They're not showing up anywhere. Okay. Because just with the steaming in the wok, I find the tartlets really good for classes because they're a good size rather than the 1 cups. But I just noticed that they weren't anywhere at the moment. So.
Well, that's because we've only put up on here changes or changes to what's otherwise been available. So.
Cool.
Sort of depends on here anyway. That doesn't mean that we're not selling it anymore. It just means that it's still moving on as ever.
So the wok's still available, but not the wok lovers pack.
Yeah, look, to be honest, we just tidied it up. It was not a particularly big seller. The main way we sell woks is actually Chef's Club. People do redeem for them, but they don't buy them. By taking so we have consolidated some of the packs. And that's partly so we've got more options to do occasional specials where
Oh, can I just say I recently sold 3 at a class, 3 wok lover packs, and I had the wok there. And honestly, I've always said, whatever you show is what you sell. And if we're not showing it, that's what slows the sales down.
To be honest with you, I hardly ever take it in because it's big and bulky and I've got enough other things to take in, and for that reason I don't sell a lot of them. So exactly that.
Yep. But if we can, encourage focus on certain products at certain times, it will help move the stock.
Well, we do with specials though, don't we? Like if we've got something on special, we take it in. So.
Yeah, I know. But anyway.
And I agree. Look, it's an awesome product. It's a really good product. But, and you can do a lot more than just stir fry it. I virtually never stir fry mine, but I use it quite regularly for different things.
Jeanette did a great demonstration last Tuesday night on it, and with all of its features and benefits, and it was just a fabulous highlight of a product that seems big and bulky. And again, David and I were chatting about how high the party average is at the moment because we've been concentrating on these sets, on what we actually have and what we don't have. And I think sometimes some of our newer consultants who may be less confident are the ones that have been, wanting the silicon because they're not as confident on the set selling. So I think that's a concentration.
But then you've got to remember too that...
Oh, who's that?
Oh, Leanne. You've got to remember too that a lot of the newbies aren't going to have the wok to demonstrate either. So
exactly.
It's a bit catch-22 with some of those things.
Yeah, I think Tracy's comment was more broad than just the wok. Just generally the focus, those that are focused on the cookware particularly, and obviously the specials that we've got, including the roasters. The party averages are very high, but it's as I said, it's a glass 97% full, 3% empty, but it's. Just we now have in stock the majority of the silicon that was actually selling. I say we hardly sold any poachers, so we're not replacing them. We actually could replace them, but there's no point. We hardly sell any. We sell hundreds a month, many hundreds a month. So consumers are saying they're not interested in that as a product anymore. So, well, the one additional thing that we have sourced, and it was quite trendy in traditional retail, so we thought we'd try it and just see, is the little baby tongs, selling them in a set of 2. So,
the little.
So they're about 15. They're about 15 centimetres.
Cute.
Guys, I can only say every single product that we ever sell are ones that we're really proud of, and that's why we sell it. But if consumers aren't buying it, then consumers aren't buying it. So, I mean, it's pretty much that simple. So, everyone that bought the Heaton store will miss it as well, or any of the products. But if hardly anyone's buying it, then it's no different to any retailer. They don't stock stuff just for 2 people. It's just not worth their while. Even more so when they're actually the manufacturer as well. So they need to, you need to get a big production run. If you're a traditional retailer, you might stock 2 because you can go to the warehouse down the street and buy them. We can't do that. So if people aren't buying it, we can't. It's just you keep, unless there's a very good strategic reason. But the Heaton store was always a sort of a add-on product that, once again, when it came out of the gate, it was really big, popular, and it's just fallen away. We see that in a lot of products. The 4-litre pressure cooker was really popular when we first launched it, right away. And obviously we brought that. We sporadically we do bring that back for a short period, but that's apart from the saute pan, things go in cycles. It doesn't say we can never bring them back, but we do find that it tends to do better. I mean, even now, obviously we're discounting it a lot, but the roasters is the orders of those are flying in because whereas when it was available previously, I accept it was a high price, but even we've done things like we've dropped it to the price of the saute pan, which is not much more than the current price, and it still didn't sell many. So, but for some reason this time, I think it's a sense of urgency you guys are pushing out there. So it's just so no, all these products never say never, but it makes it actually you actually end up selling more when you bring them back for a short period. Focus on it. You say do a wok, do a monthly wok special or something. Focus on it. Get as a month before. Get as many consultants' hands as possible, and sell more. That's just keeping it interesting for your consumers.
Could I ask a quick question on the square roaster?
Sure.
In regards to the individual delivery of each roaster, is it going to the person who bought it?
It will go to however it was bought. So if it was bought via a class, it'll go to the host. So that's all the information we have. We don't have any more information than that. If it was bought through website or whatever, then it'll go to that. So if we don't have the end, we don't have the information for the end customer. Unless they gave it to us because it's an individual order. That's the case with any back order.
Can I just ask David, with the PWS, because it's still live, so what's going to happen if people happen to jump on in the next day or two? Are you going to, will that get shut down or?
Indirectly, yes, they'll be redirected to your new ones. But we can't do that till new ones are live. So
okay.
So,
and if they happen to do it today, is that just going to be added to September or?
I presume so. I'll have to go. I'm guessing.
I don't know what made me think about that, but
I'm not 100% sure.
Just that I saw they were.
Yeah, they are still.
Yeah.
So the original plan was to take them down. Well, we can't take them down until the other ones are up, so we can redirect them.
So they'll have a new address, will they?
It's the same. Yeah, short answer is yes. It's the same as your current one, except there's no .au. So it's mychefstores.com/Pauline Phillips or whatever.
Okay. I just had a rubber stamp made. Silly me.
They're all being redirected.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. They can type in either. Formerly the address is .com, not .com.au, but they're all being redirected.
Okay. Elle just asked a question about November is still the delivery date on the square roasters.
Last I heard, I'll have to confirm that with the factory.
Yeah, I've promised all mine they'll have it for Christmas. They mostly bought it for Christmas, so
we're aware of that. So we're pushing the factory, but I haven't spoken to the factory I haven't confirmed that with them for a few weeks. So yeah, so we're fully aware that Christmas is the date that people are bought it for. So
thank you. Yeah, a lot of them are gifts. Okay.
Sure.
We got any idea of cut-off shipment yet? Because people are sort of booking in classes, and it would be handy to know, just because shipment's been a bit slower, obviously, at the moment. Would just be good to know.
December, you mean?
Yeah, for Christmas, back in time for Christmas. Different states.
So as I said, any slower shipping is just because of the I can't describe it quite how many manual workarounds we're having to do in here because of where the IT is currently at. So that will go back to normal once the new system's up and running. So so that
will be automated.
That ship time will be. There are so many workarounds that need to be done internally at the moment. But in answer to your question, Jane, no, I don't think we've locked that in. As I remember, Christmas. I'm fairly sure Christmas is Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right.
Which means we'd probably do it the start of the prior week, so you've got a full week or 8 days to get to you. I mean, Australia Post generally puts on quite a lot more resources at that time of year now these days. But probably, like always, we're always a bit reticent to put strict cut-offs because it's not up to us; it's up to Australia Post.
That's right.
We obviously put resources on, and we basically ship broadly on the day or by working backwards if it's getting close. West Australia first, then South Australia, and so on. But we're reticent to give cut-off dates because we've found in the past that means people would easily keep. If you're going to give a cut-off date, you have to be conservative. We've always done that, whereas some other online retailers or whatever have been too aggressive in the cut-off date, then suddenly blamed Australia Post when they said we'll take orders up to a day before or 2 days before, and that just was never going to happen. So if you're going to say order by this time, you'll get it by Christmas, we need to be conservative to make sure that actually happens, which means you're actually even earlier than normal, and you end up just basically killing off the second half or more. I mean, from the 10th or 11th of December. So I think traditional online readers don't give cut-off times. Leave it up to the consumer. They give estimates.
I'm just thinking for party-wise and stuff. So, I mean, I reckon I'd be looking at saying sort of Friday the 14th for us in SA. I reckon that gives you a whole week then. So.
Yep, and that's probably fine. I'll leave it up to you to manage. We give guidelines, but I don't want to be beholden to it because it sends through. Then you end up, because you're so conservative, you end up writing off 3 weeks of December, which is because people stick to it too much. So,
thank you.
Okay, Tracy.
So I just thought we'd do a little bit of an exercise on branding. Having a new beginning, we thought, coming into a whole new era for the Chef's Toolbox, which is very exciting. We've still got some, a couple little steps to, baby steps to take, but we did want to congratulate, obviously, as David's mentioned, extraordinarily above average classes are still being held over and above what's been happening, and that's because everyone's been focusing on what we did have and what we didn't have, which means you've still got your strong monthly PVs, consistent income, and the attendance has been high as well. So congratulations on that as well. Oh gosh, what's happened there? What is branding? If you Google the brand definition, you'll find 43 different attempts just on the first page. There's so many misconceptions on what a brand is. So it's probably easy to say what it is not. What do you guys think branding is? And we're talking about you guys here as a company. You are your own brand. So what do you think branding is? Anyone?
Impression you make.
Yes, well done. So it's not a logo. It's not a name. And it's not a trademark, a jingle, or even a symbol. These things do affect the brand, but a brand encompasses all of these and more. So to begin to understand what a brand is, you must first understand that your brand does not exist here in the marketing department or the sales team or even in David's office. A brand exists only in the minds of our customers. So we're talking about you guys here. So let me just go back. I knew I would do that. Hold on one sec. Just going to try and play this one. Please play for me. Here we go. Has anyone seen that one before?
No.
No? Hold on, let me get out of that. So, branding is a stamp of ownership. It is about the quality of the experience, how it makes you feel, the performance, obviously, of the product, or even as you as the consultant at your classes, how it can actually simplify. So with our products or with what you're demonstrating at your classes, how it makes people feel and how it can simplify their life. That's your branding on how you demonstrate. Creates confidence, belonging and trust. People trust you. And obviously with the guarantee of the products, values, passion, and culture. That is branding. So as Josie said, it's, you know, it's about that impression. So, I mean, I said we're not going to talk about companies, but just for an example, Apple, or I prefer Tiffany, when you think of those companies and you look through all of these examples, how does it make you feel when you've got an Apple product in your hand? Or if you're wearing a lovely piece of jewellery? How does it... so it's about that branding of the product and how it makes you feel. And this is... I've done this class before, and it was talking about looking from the outside in. So how do people perceive you as a brand yourself? I don't know if you can hear this. Can you hear this?
Yes.
Oh, it's playing.
I can almost see.
So this is you.
That dream I'm dreaming, but
Your family is your brand. I'll go through that in a minute. Your attitude, being ethical, truth, consistent, obviously respectful is a part of you.
gotta keep trying.
All of these make up you as a brand.
Gotta keep my head held high. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. It ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on me.
So what does the brand of you look like to the world? Who are you? Do you share your story? So I remember working with someone once, and I think I may have shared this with you before. It's when you tell your story at your classes, that creates an image for the outside world to see you. So that's a part of your brand. You're a mum, you're a wife, you work other jobs. It's really important to share your story on who you are so they can relate to you. How you present yourself, personal hygiene and how you present yourself also creates up you as your brand. I remember seeing a manager once staple her hem at a conference. Was not very pleasant, let me say. And personal hygiene. So again, this is all your image and your brand. What are your goals? We've all been trained on how important it is to have goals, how they provide direction and inspiration. They keep you focused and motivated. However, we also know what it's like to be around people who don't have goals, how these people can appear and make you feel. They drag you down into their pit of misery. So these are all synonymous on creating a brand. Your customer service level. We have had some trying and delicate times over the last 6 months. There is no denying it. It has been especially tough on you guys in the field and plus here at the office. We thank you for your persistence, patience and loyalty to us here at TCT and most importantly to your customers. And keeping them informed from the moment you meet them of our situation has clearly helped in the majority of the cases to keep them happy. Pip and Angela have been great examples on how they've handled and still continue to grow their business. An overall image, I don't know how you guys feel, but if I think of a used car salesperson, I think of someone who might be pushy and, you know, sloppily dressed and bad hygiene. So what does the brand of you look like? I think, you know, hand on my heart, I've seen you all dress very professionally, act very professionally, great customer service, and you'll have goals that have kept your businesses going. But the 5 reasons to brand yourself is creates confidence in you and your business. So I've got some examples here. As you become more and more successful because of your personal branding efforts, you will also become more confident. This confidence will also be obvious to everyone who comes in contact with you, including hosts, customers, and potential team members. And of course, when you're confident, you'll have that magnetic attraction. The Number 2 reason to brand yourself is brings people to you. You need to stand out from the crowd. Think how you can be different from the rest. Like Pauline's regular go live she does at 5:30 every afternoon, and she brings people into her kitchen. That's creating a difference to her brand, to others. Do you send thank you cards to your hosts after you've held the class? I know Philippa does that, and it makes them feel valued. So that's how she's creating a difference as well with her brand. With Jill and Melissa working in the community, and Melissa doing her open houses, her cooking classes in her home. So again, that's gaining an edge on your competition. How to increase value. If you love what you do and you have fun, and plus are really good at it, people will tell their friends, and they'll want to book a class with you for the value that you add to the experience. You will have a strong, consistent business, and people want to be a part of your team. So you can Google, and this will come up, 5 reasons to brand yourself, more or less in these words. Number 4, it creates trust, credibility and trust. Personal brand is also, remember this, is represented online. Your social media footprint says a lot about you personally and professionally. Always be socially aware of this powerful tool. With the advent of the internet and worldwide dominance of Google nowadays, as a business person, you're pretty much your own Google search results. So credibility also comes with being open and honest, informing your customers up front with as much information as you can to provide them with a quality experience, especially with these changes that we've been going through, with the silicon being, changing with the company and the knives, and now with the new system. And the 5th reason to brand yourself makes you the expert. Without branding yourself, people will not perceive you as an expert. You will simply become just another direct seller in the sea of direct sellers. So branding yourself will give you expert status, provided you continue to learn and develop yourself. So you've got to ask yourself, why would someone want to book a class with me? Why am I different to everyone else? So how have you branded yourself out there in the market? And it's just, again, trusting in ourselves. We're going to start new beginnings, and we're just looking forward to having you guys be on the journey with us moving forward. It's exciting times. We can feel it. The vibe in the office is amazing. So again, yes, just saying thank you to all of you for being there and supporting us and supporting your customers, and having that patience to see us through this time. There we go. It's just a little bit of training on branding.
Yeah, Trace, that'd be a good thing to run as a business meeting, because I think a lot of the leaders, let's face it, they're the ones with the bookings. They're the ones already doing a lot of that. It's the other ones out there that
do you not think it's
probably aren't.
I think the next one we might do is fundraising, because of the girls' night in that we're thinking of, how we came up. I'm just trying to get you all up here again. So the next one's going to be the fundraising dose, but maybe for the one after that, especially once the new system's completely up and running, we can get people thinking about how they brand themselves out there. Why would someone want to date a class with them?
Okay. Yeah.
Does that suit you guys?
Yeah, I think the only thing is with, I do fundraisers and everything, but it's a very small group of people that are going to actually put the time and effort in to actually do them. It's the same with the open houses and that sort of thing. So,
oh, okay. I thought that was the track we're going down with the girls' night in. So I thought
I completely agree. But what I'm saying is it will still be a very small group. And so maybe, like Josie's just said, a little bit of something like this, what you've just presented to us, maybe a little bit of that. Because
I think we want bookings, don't we? So we need people,
right. It's I just think that, like Jo said, that everyone that's on here at the moment, we're all doing this because people are booking classes with us, because we've already built up that trust and we have that integrity and stuff. But the everyday consultant that's just doing it here and there probably doesn't have that. And we all have them say to us, oh well, I can't get any bookings, and it's like, well, you have to make people want to have you in their home and so on. So maybe a bit of this.
Yeah, I'd find it, but I think I'd need to change it a little bit to alter it to the consultants. I think I've sort of
Oh,
targeted this
definitely.
to you guys.
I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have it as
No, as
sort
it
of
is, no.
intense as that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can throw something in definitely to get them thinking about that. But it's just that's why we've put on the get out there and hold one class this month, and we're going to give you some free product. You don't have to pay for it. You know, just get out there and, you know, get started again. So that'll come from you guys as well. So they can get their hands on some free product. And obviously if they team build, they're going to get their hands on the gorgeous thermal bowl as well. And then, you know, obviously, hopefully from October, then we get a bit of traction and they're out there doing more for November, building into the Christmas campaign. So, you know, so basically it's on bookings. I mean, I can go through 15 years of material here from bookings as well. So what else can we do to get them inspired, guys?
Get them to the meeting for a start. They've got to come.
Yep.
Have to come. Could they get something for attending the meeting? Just of the silicon that's new, that's one of the smaller pieces? I don't know. I just, you know, I'd love to actually be able to go to a meeting and take some silicon home and pay for it. You know, Tracy and I, from a background where release night, you all took the product home. And I realised you'd have to pay for it on the night, but, you know, how possible is that?
Well, obviously anything's possible. So, I mean, we can look at doing that. Sure. I mean, the only reason why, so the only couple of things is that, you know, we were focusing on primarily on not being able to just buy it, but actually you have to earn it by being at least active. I mean, coming to a sales meeting or a business meeting is a great step, but at the end of the day, you want them out. You're doing that to try and get them to then also get bookings. So we went straight to the bookings with the bride.
See, the thing is, if they do a party next week in October, do they have to wait till the end of October to claim that free piece of silicon? Because there's another 4 or 5 weeks gone without it. Can it be as soon as you've done your first class in October, you can claim it?
Well, we need to manually assess it, so it's going to have to be, we can probably do it, you know, I'll say weekly, but I mean, I'm not sure. I need to check with the resources on Catherine. I mean, I keep telling her she won't have anything. She'll be twiddling her thumbs when the new system's up and running.
By next week?
Are we going to see some of that today?
The new system? That's what I thought today would be.
We were actually going to go live with it when it's live, but I can go and grab some for you. I'll just find where it is. I think it's all downstairs. Yeah, if you give me a chance, I'll go and grab whatever I can put my hands on.
Hold on, I'll get that organised, David.
Okay.
That'd be good, Steve.
What is the training going to be around the new system, David? Is it going to be like an online training for people to be able to do in their own time, or how's it going to be done?
So a bit of both. So it'll definitely be recorded in bite-sized pieces, different components of it. It's I mean, for basic things like putting a booking in and then turning that into a class and stepping through, adding hosts and customers and stuff. That's, you know, broadly you can follow your nose. There's probably a few little, you know, minor twists and turns that you might want some training on, but broadly you'll be able to follow your nose. But having said that, yes, we will be doing, you know, bite-sized pieces of recorded sessions, and then we'll do some Zooms as well. But we prefer for a training video that's going to be used ongoing, not to just record a live Zoom, because it's not as you can get distracted by certain questions, and, well, you know, if you sort of make a mistake or something like that, you can't
done in the past for
yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, just bite-sized pieces of those, and they'll be coming out later in the week. And then there'll also be some Zooms, some live Zooms to step people through it. Well, obviously live, but also give people an opportunity to ask questions.
Cool. Angela's just asked a question. Will the new stationary pack silicon be in the new range? Will the new stationary packs include the new range of silicon rather than the old, I think she means. Is that right, Ange?
I will have to come back to that. I don't think we've made a decision on that. Thank you.
We've lost her.
Okay, so
We've lost her.
you right?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
So this is the PC steamer basket. So if you can see that, but it's got little holes all through there. It's got double sort of feet, so it's quite stable when it sits. Sits on there. It fits quite snugly into the like it's for some reason Siri started asking me all these questions. It picked up on. I never used the voice thing, but I thought you had to say "Hey Siri" or something. But anyway, whatever. Sorry, I'll just kill my phone. It kept dinging me, asking me questions from what I was saying. Anyway, you found that my son was saying the other day, he was talking to someone about a holiday he was thinking about planning or something, and suddenly not in his Facebook news feed, but on his sorry, I think it was Facebook. It was both Facebook and also Google ads both respond. He had never done a search. He'd never done anything. They're obviously listening to his conversation. It's kind of scary. Anyway.
Wow.
So this is the PC basket. So it fits quite snugly into it. I actually think it's a better solution than the previous one. It's more stable. Previously, when you bring it up, it was kind of a bit unstable, and you lose your lamb shanks off it. This one is a bit more stable as it comes up, and being all silicon, obviously, there's zero chance of it damaging the non-stick in the PC. So these are the oven mitts. So you can see there they've got a cloth interior. You see that? So it's meaning double layer the silicon and then the cloth. It's really very good as far as heat. Previous ones have. If you hold it does start to get hot, particularly if it's something that's come straight out of the oven and you grip it. It doesn't get hot immediately. It's not going to burn you, but it gets there. But this one keeps cool for a lot longer, and it's actually quite pliable. It's good. These are the traditional 22 centimeter tongs, which I think I've showed previously. I'm not sure. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually got a spit. It's slightly deeper this way, the silicon, than the previous ones, and it's just something about the teeth I find actually grips a bit better, and also I think it's, if you can see that there, it's not as flat. They're kind of too curved coming in, so you actually find the grip works quite a lot better. It doesn't have the feet which the previous ones had. To be honest, we were probably going to roll them out anyway, take them out anyway, because both the feet have come off my ones at home, which is dangerous. Then you've got this little chunk of plastic floating around that kids can swallow. These are the bowls. These aren't in just yet. They've been in later October, but there's 3 of them. You can see they're very similar in pliability and stuff to our previous ones. So yes, they're very similar, very shiny interior. So for those that do want to do a Christmas pudding or something in there, you're still going to have that. You're still going to have that really shiny interior, which is great.
And David, you still have 25 years on the silicon?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just the 12 cup. I don't know if you can see that, but similarly, in fact, possibly more than a previous one. It's incredibly pliable, which is one of the, depending on the shape, some things we like to be pliable, and some things we want to be thicker, so they hold the shape better. But certainly with the muffins, you want it to be really pliable, so it can easily just pop out, and this one does that. And once again, shiny interiors. This is the health bar. Similarly, once again, very, very pliable. It's actually, I think it's probably a slight improvement on a previous one from that perspective. And the shape of it, I think, is a bit closer to your power bars, your protein bars, whatever. The previous one was we put 16 on rather than 12, but they were slightly smaller in shape. So I think this one's actually an improved product. 24 cup, similarly pliable. The cup sizes on this are marginally smaller than the previous one. There's still 24 of them, but they're just, I mean,
Not as deep.
not quite. I mean, you're talking. No. If you didn't know the other ones, you'd say they're the same.
Most people aren't going to
When
notice.
you know them, you'll notice it, but any new customer won't know the difference. This is just an egg flip, which we've out of, but we know it's of all the tools, that's the one that gets that's bought as an individual item the most. So we sourced that. This is just the spatula, which is it's actually marginally stiffer than our previous one, which I, once again, depending on how you use it, I quite like it. I mean, it's still pliable enough to get into corners, but it's marginally thicker.
Looks similar to the original one.
It is very
It
similar.
had with the metal handle.
Shape-wise, I suppose, is a little bit, but no, it's very similar to the one that's just moved out. These are the little baby tongs. You can see them.
Oh, cute.
Can you pop them up against the big tongs, David, so you can see what they look like against the big ones?
Are they sold individually or in a set of two?
Set of two.
Set of two.
Nice.
So you can see it's quite a lot smaller.
Yeah.
See that? So
That's very cute.
they were somewhat similar ones, been very popular in traditional retail, so we thought we'd just get them. I mean,
They are. They're very handy. I use them a lot.
I've got some little ones and I love them.
Yep.
Really
Oh, that's
cool,
good.
by the way. Mine are purple.
Thanks for showing us those, David. I was actually talking about the new system.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I wasn't going to stop him.
No.
Not quite
get
done.
to that.
So this is the health mat.
Ah,
See that it's got little bumps on it. It is quite a bit bigger than the previous one, which is so we're
That's
looking at
good.
whether we get a slightly larger cookie tray for it to fit on. I mean, it's very pliable, so it's
Give yourself a little foot massage on
So
that.
it's too big for the normal cookie tray.
a little bit too big. So it's going to be the
Well,
same
okay,
price. If
right.
people want to cut it down, they can. Or they'll end up with the same as the previous health bar by cutting it down. I know most people won't do that, but we're not charging any more for it. And it's also, because of the nature of the way the bumps work rather than bars, it's more flexible than the previous one, so it does fairly comfortably fit up the sides of that. But no, it's a bit too big for the current cookie tray. I think that's it. Springform, I'm not sure where that is. It hasn't turned up, but that's fine. Springform is almost identical to the current one, except it's a
Oh, it sounds sick.
traditional 22 centimetre diameter rather than 18 centimetre.
PC, David?
No, it won't fit the PC.
It won't. Okay.
No, it's a traditional.
I thought when
We
I
got that previous one
Yeah.
done specifically to fit in the PC because people were asking for something. Yeah, it's
So it won't.
if you want traditional baking, it's
Yeah.
whenever I use it, when people pens come over, they go, "Wow!" But I don't use it in the PC pretty much ever. I only ever use one to bake. You know, some people, once again, it's what you show. So, you know,
That's right. They're not going to miss it. They're not going to know it's even there.
if people keep showing the current one or the previous one, people are going to ask for it. If they don't show it, then people won't ask for it. So it's
Right.
I think people
sorry.
love the size. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a better size.
well, it's certainly a better size if you use traditional baking because
Yep.
that's a classic size for most cakes. If you just get a Jamie Oliver, a Wins Weekly, or a Donna Hay sort of cake, it'll be normally a 22 centimetre size. It's finally, we are looking to source a lid for this, which I've spoken to you.
The leaders.
We spoke about previously, but so this is the thermal bowl, which is
Looks lovely.
pretty cool. It's better finished than the one we had a couple of years ago. It's just really a nice shiny band around the top.
Mm.
So that's products, and no, I don't have the new system to show you. Sorry, we're still crazy. I did it just on timing. There were some updates that needed to happen over the weekend that just with the difference in the time zones have yet to be tested. They've been installed, but we're testing them now, so we're not going to be able to. We're not confident we can go live tomorrow, as in it won't be fully tested. So it'll be Thursday at this stage. Don't hold me to that. If things don't go right in testing, they should, but it's IT. So it will be, yes, not tomorrow. So still the previous system will be from, as far as ordering, you can still access it to look at bookings and other things, but it will be not live. You can't process any orders on there from 5 o'clock this afternoon, 5 o'clock Sydney time.
So I see Catherine's on here. I processed 2 classes this morning and they went into October. So it looked like the old system rolled over.
Yeah, we need to put them back manually.
Okay, all right. Yep.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, no, it's for everyone's sake, we want October to be only the new system. It's just messy.
Yeah.
Trying to you can't.
And David, does it import all our classes we've got coming up, or do we have to re-enter all those?
So we flagged you do need to re-enter them.
Oh, all right.
It imports all your customers, but it won't import all your classes. It can't.
Okay.
Just
Yep.
so that's which I know for someone like yourself, Pauline's reasonable number of new entries, but look on the bright side, you'll get good at entering classes. It'll be practice.
Fantastic. Can't wait.
And obviously it's very relevant for someone like yourself. It's less relevant for somebody that's got, only a few in the system. So, but no, that was something that was going to be too difficult to do and make sure it was accurate. So, so we're leaving that component to it. We're importing as many things as we can, but that's one thing that was leaving it up to you guys to do, your teams. Look, I think that's everything from me.
Yeah.
Do you have anything further, Tracy, or are there any other questions?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I've got some lists. I've got all the questions and lists here, and I've, got the questions that have been put up here too that we might be able to answer.
Sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, some of that just as you can understand, there's lots of balls in the air. So, the specifics of exactly what silicon, for instance, going in the stationary pack, that's just there's a lot of other more important decisions that have had to be made. So we parked the slightly lesser ones. I know they're all important decisions, but some are more important than others. So, but yeah, we'll come back to you on it.
Okay. Pip sends her apologies, by the way. All right, so we've got a Ohana thing tonight, a Zoom I'm supposed to be doing. Can we have a chat about that, Trace, after this?
Yeah, sure.
Very quickly.
Yep.
I think so. There's a couple of questions there, Tracy, about catalogues and stationery.
Stationery is currently downloadable. It's not back from the printers yet. I'll say late next week, but don't hold me to that.
ETA on the stationery, Joyce?
The dates for the calendar, for the catalogue, Ange.
So, and that's why we did that. The in focus, the series of dots of what's with images, so people can see it. We know that it's better to have the proper catalogue, and better again to have the actual product in your hand.
So I've got classes this week, David, from tomorrow. So we're using the old catalogue still with the new sheet. That's what we're doing.
Either doing that, or I think I can't remember if there's an e-version of the new catalogue yet. If not, it may not be quite ready today. I can't remember if that went with InFocus or not. An e-version.
No, it didn't.
Okay, well that's within a couple of days anyway. So that's one option. Or yes, you can just use the old catalogues for the time being with maybe just print out that.
Yeah. Okay, and the website will only be on today as well. So I've been directing people, because they want outside orders, I've been directing them to look through the website. So can we not do that after today too?
What, where they buy it and have it added to the class, you mean?
So that their customers have something to look at if they can't make the class.
Yep. Unfortunately, I have to ask you for a small amount of further patience of a few days. We were hoping to have the new sites all up and running by tomorrow, and it's been pushed out by 24 hours with the.
Yeah. So okay, I just need to know what. Tell them.
Yeah.
Well, the new products that we're not putting onto the old website. That's just it's
Right.
the guys just don't have time. But
Maybe Ange
redoing
just
a new catalogue, redoing all the new website, blah blah blah. They just don't have time to update the new.
Can you
maybe
products
send a
on the old-
photo?
are we better off just sort of saying to them that it will be extended, showing them the new stuff on a sheet, laminated or something, and just say, look, at the moment we're just changing over. It will be 2 or 3 weeks delivery, or you'll have it by the end of the month. Would that be, and then that way, if you don't get to put it in until the end of the week or even early next week, it's not going to affect it.
The products are, as you can see, the vast majority of products are in
There, it's more
warehouse currently.
processing the
So,
orders,
sorry?
isn't it? If it's more processing the orders, and like if she does a party tomorrow, she's going to have to wait till the end of the week to process the party anyway. You know what I mean?
You're going to have to wait a few days.
Maybe.
We have every expectation it'll be up and running by the end of the week. So it's a few days.
And it's an extra week delivery.
So what's the expected delivery date then? Like how?
Sorry, drop that out there.
What will the new turnaround be? What will the new turnaround be expected to be with delivery?
I would assume 2 to 3 days. Like that's sort of what we've historically shot for. That's the expectation. Once again, it's a new system, so we're hoping everything goes as smoothly as it should. We've done some testing, but there's nothing like going live to find out where the real tricks are. So that the expectation is that we would be moving back to a few days because it's. As something as simple as, obviously, if you process it on a Saturday, it's straight through processing. You don't have to wait until Monday to actually call up and talk to support. So obviously from the credit card perspective alone, the paperwork that can be used to go down to the warehouse is all back
automated,
to much more automated. Whereas currently there's a lot of it's just not automated. So it's and the paperwork that goes into the warehouse is not easy to follow because we're sort of patching together stuff. So I would expect it to go back to 2 to 3 days.
Cool.
But don't quote me on that for the first week, just in case little hurdles. So
yeah, about a few weeks.
Can I just ask, David, I had someone enroll the other day and I haven't got around to setting up their personal website yet. Should I still do that in the old system today or should I just wait?
Just wait.
Just wait.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, just wait. It's a matter of days.
Yep, thank you.
Catherine just said, just wait.
Excellent. Thank you, Catherine.
All right.
Cool.
So sorry I can't show you a new system, but it does look really cool. So it's very.
I'm excited about the reporting side. Oh my
On
gosh!
the reporting side, you guys with your teams will love it. It's much more user friendly than the previous one. And if there's new reports we want to generate, which are not there, we can much more easily generate them. We've got much more
exciting
flexibility around that than the old dinosaur of a system. And in the way Joyce has set it up, I really like it. It's very clean, a lot of white space. It's a very clean site. And the same system for your classes as your PWS, which means the look, the feel, the consistency. I mean, you'd hope that in previous system that they were consistent, but they were two distinct systems. So that means as soon as that happens, there's some issue or risk with human error of whatever. I mean, that didn't happen pretty much ever, but there's risk of it. So whereas here it's single system, so the consistency of look and feel and so on is it's great. So I'm really proud of what Joyce has done. It looks very clean.
Good on, Joyce.
Proud of what you've done, Joyce. Everyone.
They always do a good job.
And don't forget, Sarah and Sandra have been working on it as well. We've got to give them more credit as well.
Everybody gets credit.
Yes,
everyone's been working hard on it.
Joyce
does the graphic design, obviously. So that's all.
Yes, everyone. It's teamwork in here.
Very good.
And most of it, I think with one or two minor exceptions, most of it's mobile responsive as well, which makes it just easier to, if you want to process the party or the class at the class, that's on your phone or your iPad, it's much easier than
that's good.
That'll be good.
current system is not mobile responsive, so you basically can't really do it because you've got to scroll across and try to zoom out and zoom in and stuff like that.
So that'd be good.
So lots of good stuff.
There is.
Can't wait to see it.
Patience just for a little while longer. So
Cool.
thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, everyone. Have an awesome week, and you'll hear
too.
from us the next. Yes, the system will be putting out a message on this, obviously, to everyone, but the system's going to be pushed out by to at least Thursday, just because of the time zone and the a couple of things that only came in late. So we'll keep you updated on exactly the timing, hoping for Thursday, but obviously if things don't go quite with these small little last minute things, that it'll have to be another day. It's just, as I say, partly if we find something, we've got to wait overnight for them to fix it, and then we need to test it and blah blah blah. So just and as much as we do that, the last thing you do is want to push it out there and find that it falls over or there's major glitches.
That's right.
Yep.
I'd rather wait a few more days, especially early in the month. Not many people do much.
Definitely.
Cool.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Joyce, you're staying on?
Thanks,
Yeah, I will.
guys.
Okay.
Thanks.
Have an awesome
Bye.
week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.